Hello there, and we are live. See ya, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to another episode of the Dahl and Claude Premier League show. Yeah, guys, you can see it here from the title of today's show. It's pretty
Mm.
much simple, yeah. Arsenal disgraced at St James Park. Arteta blames fatigue for the loss against Newcastle, and Dubai luxury treatment. I mean, for the loss
Oh,
against Newcastle. All these crimes against the true Arsenal fans will be discussed today. And you know what, yeah, guys, I'm always very, very pushy with Oregon Gunner. I don't give him that chance to just really get everything out. But today's gonna be an exception. I'm gonna allow this brother flow. See you
okay.
guys. Welcome to the show. My partner in crime. Yeah, see you guys. You guys know what I got for this guy, man. Oregon
Oh,
Gunner in the house. Po. He's in the house, brother. Oregon Gunner. Talk to these people. Let
well,
them
thanks for
know.
having me on, Tony. Another week, another show. I know we were planning, maybe I wasn't going to have time to do it today, but thinking about yesterday and watching some shows today with our man Lee Gunner, Deji, etc. Never a foul. Some of the YouTube shows while I was working and listening to in the background, and my anger just built up more. So I had to reach out to Tony Claude and say we have to do the show today. There's no other
Let's
excuse.
go.
I'm headed to Florida on Sunday to Thursday next week, so I'll be completely out of town, which I'm kind of looking for a nice break, but we need to
Yeah.
get this off our chest today. This manager has to go this summer.
Mm.
We're not going to let him go this season. We got to get that out of our head, right? I know, that I know, and everyone in the chat knows that he's not going to go anytime soon. But this
Mm.
summer, he has to go. He cannot get us over the line. He can blame fatigue. He can blame the ball, and even yesterday I was giving him some, I wouldn't say credit, but giving him some leeway, right? Like he wasn't out
Mm.
there making the mistakes. He picked the same lineup he did on Sunday against City. We know
Mm.
we went all out in that game. And at the end, a game, Tony, that means absolutely nothing. If we put
Mm.
the City win in context, I spoke about it with TJ, with some other folks from American Waffle and so forth. Mike
Mm.
Dawes, shout out to
Mm.
that whole crew over there, Saeed, Jacob, and yeah, all that group over there. Anyway, too many names to mention. So talking with
Yeah.
TJ after the game, I was pretty much the thought that the only way we were going to win that game, Tony, was on the confidence we had from Sunday. We
Yeah.
didn't have the goal aggregate, right? We didn't have the scoreline
Yeah.
going in that we wanted. We played away from home at a extremely, very, very tough place to play. The Geordies are the 12th man, right?
Yeah.
We've got 3 or 4 shots on goal in 2.5 seasons there, right? So
Mm.
this game's going to be difficult, right? So
Mm.
I don't want I want to put those things into context. I guess what I'm saying is that the only way we were going to win yesterday was that wave of confidence with everything else going against us. So I
Yeah.
do give credit to Arteta for at least putting out the right squad. We did not see Thomas Partey at right back, right?
Mm.
Did not see Havertz at left mid or right mid or somewhere where he hasn't played, right? It's the same 11. The fatigue,
Mm.
yes, I get that, but
We'll talk. See, oh, we're gonna, we will talk. We will talk about fatigue
reason
later
why
on.
we didn't put it at the
Let's
point.
get into that matchup. How did we lose that game?
Here's
That's
how
the
we lost
first
that game.
inquest. How did we lose that game?
It was lost from the minute the whistle went off. There was no speed and build-up. There was no physicality in midfield. There was no physicality in defense. Saliba doesn't want physical contact with the striker. He doesn't want physical contact. He's the finesse guy, the Rolls Royce, blah, blah, blah. But when the rubber hits the road, right? When the rubber hits the road, he is not the guy to push that striker down with his shoulder.
Mm.
He will let the ball bounce. He will let the striker get possession, and he will recover. But that only happens over, only 50% maybe of the time. He's been bad for about 3 months now.
Yeah.
And we're
Yeah.
moving direction, I think, overall, because we can't get anything over the line. So it's like, again, 4 steps forward and 5 steps back. I mean, second place is great, but it doesn't win you a trophy. We had the opportunity yesterday to go in there and say, yes, we're tired. But that's not going to keep our concentration down when Odegaard can't make a fucking goal from 8 yards out.
Yeah.
I mean, he scores that goal that changes everything. That changes the complexion of the match, the tie, everything. And we can't score from 8 yards out. And then they come back and put in a belter. And I don't care, Tony. If it's not for VAR, that first Isak goal stays. No human eye.
I'm telling you, man. If I thought it was a goal.
I thought it was a goal.
I thought it was a goal. I thought it was a goal. I mean,
3-0.
let's don't lie.
Right? I mean, it just, I don't know how we pick ourselves up from this. And I don't think a Dubai visit is going to get the results that it did 2 seasons ago or a season ago, whenever we went, right? You know, I mean, this is horrible. A real manager would say, you know what? We ain't fucking going anywhere but to the training ground.
I mean,
right? We're not going to Dubai to go fill our sun and chase around the muff while you guys can't even put in a performance because you're tired. You are 280,000 pounds a week for a striker that can't score. Odegaard, almost 300,000 pounds a week for a captain who's not a captain, who can dribble and flick his ball, flick his hair. Go play 5-a-side fucking indoor. That's what that's for. You have to be physical in these games. He's a fucking Dorito feather lightweight, and he's a captain. He's a quiet fucking kid. He has no leadership ability. None. Gabriel is the leader of this team. And until Arteta makes drastic changes now, you have to make the changes now to have the effect. You have to put something into effect. And no, we're sending him to Dubai to go sit by the fucking pool. Well, Odegaard from 7 fucking yards away. 7 yards, bro. He was right by the fucking spot. He was right outside the box between the penalty spot and the box. Oh, it's been weaker foot. I don't fucking care, bro. $300,000 a week. $300,000 a week. I'm right footed. I'll bury that every day with my left foot. I'm tired of the excuses. And 60% of the fan base is still with this fucking manager, Tony.
I mean, see, guys, yeah.
5 years he's been here.
I mean, guys, yeah. When
no strikers available, bullshit.
Kai Havertz was even the worst. So, I mean, we'll get into all these issues. I mean, guys, yeah. When you see someone like Oregon Gunnar just completely lose it on the show, you know you've done something wrong. His brother doesn't just go off just like that. Something hits him. Yeah. And see, guys, yeah, AFC always just said it here, plain and simple. Newcastle bullied us in both legs. See, Oregon Gunnar, yeah, I mean, that was the worst Arsenal match I've seen all season. I don't know of you, but that was the worst. I mean, I've never watched an Arsenal match yet that I was like, in the 5th minute, I just said, Let's shut the show down. Let's shut the charade down. Let's just go home. We failed. And again, there was something you were saying in between the lines down there about Martin Odegaard, captain of this football club. When was the last time you saw a captain of a football club when you're chasing a game, yeah, and you're a goal down, 2 goals down, and then you see a full-fledged captain of a football club being subbed out when you need goals? I mean, the captain of a team is meant to actually spur the team to go and do the unthinkable, to go and do the undesirable, to go and do the thing that would really, really upset teams. It's helping the team to score goals. But then look at Arsenal hacking away the captain when they need to score a goal. I mean, let's talk about that, man. Oregon Gunnar, man. Captain Martin Odegaard, yeah, Snottergaard, Ghostergaard, bro. This guy had a decent performance against Man City. I won't really criticize that, a decent one. But I mean, right now where we need you, where we can be able to get a chance to get into the final of a cup game, and then you dish out a stinker like that.
Right.
I mean, I'm not having it. Big up to Paul Forwell. Big up to here to there. Big up to
Yeah.
AFC always is everywhere. That's a befitting name for him. Big up to you guys. And Anthony Herbert, shout out to you. I was on your show on Sunday. Great, 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 great from
Oh,
Anthony Herbert. Yeah, man.
yeah, I just think he's not the one. If your captain's just tired after a 60th minute in a 2-game run, that's not going to work. Like, that's just not going to work. That's not going to work in any top Premier League or top European side, right?
Mm,
When did we see players like Inter, like Barella? Oh, I'm tired. Or like Dumfries, and I used Inter because, they're one of those teams that I think we can have that similar success. Champions League
yeah.
final, semifinal, right? And I really like a lot of the Serie A clubs. When's the last, time you've heard, like, would Sesko say he's tired if we were to bring that beanpole in? I mean, if we were bringing, let's say, Bruno Gomes, you think he'd be fucking tired? I don't get the tired result.
Why does this manager have excuses? Why does he get the luxury of having excuses? The last time it was the Carabao Cup ball. Now it's fatigue. The other time is the love of the players. The other time, bro,
Right.
all manner of excuses. Yeah, this manager has everything in his mouth. This manager has no shame.
None.
He completely has no shame. He's got no shame whatsoever. He blames the ball. He blames fatigue now. I mean, he blames everything, even the referees. The referees, I mean, I personally, I know that the referees have been bad this season, but I mean, no, referees don't take all the blame altogether.
Right.
He has to shoulder some of the blame himself. And when you look at every other person as the problem of your team without clearly seeing your inputs, then maybe you should just take a hard look, a deep, hard look into the mirror. He might just be, might just be the man standing in front of the mirror.
I think he does do that at times. I mean, possibly, who knows what this manager's doing right behind closed doors, right? I mean, who knows what he's thinking, right? I mean, you're right. He goes from one excuse to the other. He sounds like a politician, to be honest, more than a football manager. But I don't know, like, what direction are we going with this guy? Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like we were talking earlier, we're second. The fan base is somewhat happy with that progression, quote unquote. But at the end of the day, you don't get a trophy for that. And here he is calling, so desperate to speak about his own accomplishments. He's calling the silverware, fucking the dishes, Beauty Shields trophies at this point because he's desperate, right? And you know what? Desperate will only get you so far. But fighting off that desperation to achieve a goal is eternal. Like you either have that in you or you don't. Right?
Yeah.
And he's a rookie manager. Great few years as a rookie. Great start, Arteta. Now go fuck off to Valencia and see what you can do there. Go over to your big club. Go to Rangers, where you're at before, or Sociedad. Go to one of those three clubs. Learn more of the craft. Win something small, and then come back to the Prem. But don't ever come back to Arsenal. I don't mind that the guy's coaching. He can go somewhere else. But I just this fantasy that 60% of the fan base has over this manager is still remains. As long as that fan base starts to turn, Tony, we're going to have this guy leading the ship, leading everything. Let's be real. We don't have a sporting director. We don't really.
I think he might leave by the end of the season. I think he would literally leave. I mean, the Kroenke called his bluff and didn't give him any signing. I mean, no, let's read the lines there, Oregon Gunnerman. I mean, he was out there in press conferences this January, asking for signings. I don't know, maybe if that was part of the whole PR stunt. I don't know. Because I don't trust this manager. But yet, there's something that tells me that the owners abandoned him when he needed them most. He was out here crying for a signing, crying for attacking, reinforcement, and the owners didn't give that to him. So I'm thinking it's either there's cracks down there, or it's either planned work between him and Josh Kronk to just, to just, to just set
Who bought
this
Moreno?
PR spin.
Who bought
So,
Moreno and Carl Fiore? Who bought 3 keepers and 2 fucking windows?
and
Right?
even the keeper, Neto isn't a desirable in it. We saw what he did against Girona. That's not even a keeper. We do need a new goalkeeper. See, I was really even thinking that this team just needs about three to two players. No, we need about more 6 players to actually get a grip of this team.
Quality bench. Like our biggest gripe, you and I've talked about this, was the drop off from the first 11 to the bench, right? And we've still not met that gap in quality yet. What good is it to bring off Party if you're just going to bring on Jorginho, right? You need to bring on someone Party's level, right? If you're match and Party comes off in the 75th minute or 72nd minute, you're going to put on fucking, Joe Blow. That's the thing. Is like we've got very good first team members, except Havertz. I've always thought we had a very good first team at times. It could be better, could be worse, right? But right now it's not that bad. But there are first team players that need to be replaced. But the fucking bench, Tony, we had Sterling on there, and Jorginho and like Kieran Tierney and 3 other defenders. We had 2 attackers and 4 other defenders. So what? So you're going to sub in Kieran Tierney when you need a goal, and sub out your fucking captain in the 60th minute because he's tired? But join the club. I'm tired too. I work 40 hours a fucking week like a normal person, but I don't make 285 to 300 grand a week. But I can sure play football within a fucking 50-year-old quality. But you know what I mean? I could still go to the gym and run. I could still go do physical activities, maybe not as intense as football, but I'm tired of the excuses, like you said.
Yeah.
It's another excuse in the bucket that he keeps pulling out. What's it going to be today? Oh, the grass was too green, right? I mean,
the ball was bouncing too much. The players are fatigued. The referees are corrupt. I do agree that some of these referees are corrupt anyway. But again, you can't put everything on the referees. This referee was very, very fair. I even thought that Kai Havertz would be sent out of the game because he did lots of foolery and shithousery, on the day. There was a tackle that I felt it was just too rough. And there was also a blatant dive that he had. What is with Kai Havertz and diving to the grass? Yeah, lots of people call him donkey. Yeah, a lot of people call him animal names and all this stuff. I don't want to call him that. But
he is a donkey.
What is his love for eating grass? Yeah. What is his love? I can't start doubting it now. They call him donkey. I didn't call him donkey. They call him a donkey. But he just loves the grass for some reason. Useless. There were times, when was the last time, in that matchup? Bro, I can't remember when a decent cross got into the 18-yard box of Newcastle before Waneri came into play. Everything was so drab.
We were lobbing balls in the box to Dan Burn. Who's going to outjump Dan Burn? And Kai Havertz was playing central midfield. Nobody was there. He wasn't keeping
No one was there.
Nobody was there but Dan Burn.
They did not even have a decent cross. That's even what I'm saying. There wasn't even a decent cross into the 18-yard box. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
No decent cross. Gabriel Martinelli, he smelt the coffee. He knew we're going to get blown completely, exterminated in St James Park, and he chickened out. Gabriel Martinelli chickened out of that game. I don't think that's an injury. His mind is off to Dubai already. He wants to just have his time, his luxury visit to Dubai. That's what he wants.
You may be injured. I didn't really. It was so early in the game. It was kind of like Like, what are we doing here? You can just see it from the kickoff. There was no tempo. There was no urgency.
There was no urgency. Exactly, man.
Play the kids,
There was no
Arteta.
push.
Play the kids. Fuck it. If you don't care, if you try and say you're trying to win things and protect players, like you said before, and keep them from getting injuries, you've destroyed Saka. Now Gabriel Jesus is done, of course. Martinelli's done, of course. Now probably till the end of March. I don't know what, and then you don't buy anyone because it's not the right profile player. But we've been looking at Ollie Watkins for a while. Then why'd you fucking buy him in the first week of January, bro?
Even that case, yeah.
And then another
That's a
excuse.
clear case of PR.
Bro, there's so many players that fit the profile for Arsenal. What are you talking about profile? They got to eat a certain kind of food. They got to drive a certain kind of car. What the fuck are you talking about? Are they ballers or not? If they're good, they're good. If they're not, they're not.
Exactly.
Moreno. Fucking Moreno, bro. Why?
When we need a goal, and then the answer to the question is bringing in Marino and Jorginho. Bro, even the substitutions were weird. But again, I think it's because of the shit we have on the bench. Yeah, we have fuck all in the bench. We don't have anyone in the bench to actually even change the game in the first place. So, I mean, the shit we're bringing in is just a reflection of what we have and a reflection of where the club really is right now.
Yeah,
We're garbage right now.
There's
garbage
right now. There's Arteta's trying to take control like Wenger did, but Wenger has experience. 40 plus years over Arteta, right? I mean, 40 plus years of management experience over this fucking div we had who can't get a signing in, and back to the owners a bit. They've backed this guy, Tony, and I
backed him.
We know we can get upset the owners. That's fair enough. The anger does trickle up, right? And I get that. But I don't think that Josh Conkey specifically knows what the fuck to do. Remember Arteta holding his hand. This is Arteta holding his hand. So these owners are sort of, they don't know the European market. They don't know, the Kamavinga.
They don't know anything. These guys are dollars. We don't have see. What are the steps that we should take before the end of the season to get next season in track? First of all, because this season is gone, done, dusted. Right. We're not winning the Champions League. We might qualify for Champions League, but that's it. What should the club do right now? To have a clean slate from next season and win trophies. What should we be doing?
Well, right now we should not be going to Dubai. We should be getting on the training ground and then maybe go spend a few days somewhere to cool their heads or something. But I don't think they're deserving of it, Tony. But right now, I don't think that, let's say, if things really upended and they actually really did sack Arteta today, I don't think anything would really change, right? They would bring in an interim manager who would probably be AirPod Albert, right, for the remainder of the season until they found someone. Wait. If
Mikel Arteta walks at the end of the season, maybe a sack or anything, if he walks at the end of the season, would we still have the current problems plaguing us?
Yes, because it's the ethos of Arsenal.
So it's not an Arteta problem. I just want to have a bit of closure here. Oh, good.
The real closure is that it's an overall club problem and no real direction. And we're putting emphasis on games, i.e. Man City, that don't fucking matter. It's fantastic to beat them 5-1. I was over the moon. You're over the moon. We were having a great time. But then reality came down like a fucking ton of bricks yesterday, didn't it? Right? I was stressed as fuck yesterday. I didn't really feel like it this morning, I was just sort of like numb to it all because we put this effort in that was great, but it didn't really matter anything. It doesn't matter now if we finish second or third, right? Does it to you? I mean, if we finish, does it really matter if you're second or third? As long as you get championship qualification and get that bag, you're okay.
Get that bag, yeah, exactly, man.
Again, I don't trust him with purchases. If he's going to be the guy that's signing off deals as the interim sporting director and manager and first team coach, that's too much power. So first thing, so to backtrack a bit, I think Arsenal need to aggressively look for a sporting director, someone that's
exactly. That's the first thing. A sporting director, number one, sporting director,
outside person that with experience, of helping clubs.
A footballing person, someone who understands football, who knows the culture, who understands the market in Europe, South America.
Right. And you can look at clubs that are semi-successful like that, like Lille, Dortmund, AC Milan. You can look at like Napoli, right? You can look at some of these different oddball clubs, upper echelon of clubs. You can put Lille in there, for example, because I know we've had English players go back and forth to Lille and so forth. As a team that's developed players. But they do it in a way because they have good direction, good sporting direction, good European market sense, right? I don't think we have that at Arsenal. I don't think Edu was the guy. And anyway, he's gone, so that might as well not even talk about him anymore. And I don't trust Arteta with the money and his knowledge of just looking for players based on current form, right? Because in reality, that's how we bought Moreno and Calafiori, and it just happens that Juve was after Calafiori and maybe another squad or two, but Moreno was a shot in the dark. That was money that we had in the bank that he could have gone for a striker. So we got to get
that exactly. That was money for a striker. How about that?
Right. That was
money for a striker.
There's the European market that could steer the ship. Right. That's number one. We need to get the ship going again. We need to define Arteta's role as just the manager and the first team coach. He can have some input, of course, on recruitment, but they need to leave that to the sporting director. And unfortunately, the old dead board, that's the other thing. Board members of ownership need to be changed out. I think that there's not enough young voices in there. It's all the old guys, their old Highbury days, and we need maybe to spruce up the ownership a bit, but the board, I mean. But I don't think new ownership is going to change things, right? Because it's the money. It's not the ownership. It's the money the ownership provides, right? Now, if some Saudi company comes along, yes, please, by all means. But the Cronkies aren't looking to sell, right? It's part of their portfolio of their holdings of sports clubs. The Nuggets, the Avalanche. There's no real reason for them to sell unless they're going to make a vast profit and maybe buy another club.
But again, are we to blame the Cronkies for what is going on in the football club right now? Because I've heard lots of defenses, for the Cronkies, because some people have said, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, they've given this manager £750 million. I mean, nearly £1 billion. I mean, that's a manager's dream war chest going into any football club. So, I could see why people would deflect away from the Cronkies as the bigger Hydra monster in the football club right now.
I deflect from them.
What do you think? Do you think the Cronkies have to take any blame out of what the mess we're in right now? Mostly having given this football club that huge amount of investment on that manager in the first place?
I think yes and no. And I'm going to try and choose my words wisely here.
Carefully.
Right. They're not the ones buying the players specifically, right? That goes through a system of people that includes Arteta, board members, and the final person to sign off on it is the Cronkies. But they don't sign off it because they this player is a free kick specialist and he can run, his pace is 90 in the box and he has so many GA. They're taking Arteta's word for things. They're taking the data that are given from the club and saying, okay, if you guys think that's a good buy, we'll sign off on it, right? Like you said, the money's been there. The money is there, right? But it's Arteta and the board pulling the strings to decide on what players they want, right? And that's why I think the board is old-fashioned. I don't know some of the board members. I know they got some different names. I used to remember some of them off the top of my head. Maybe someone in the chat can put the names. But some of these board members, Tony, have been with the club for 40, 50 years. Football's changed, right? I mean, football's evolved completely in that time frame. So I think, again, sprucing up the Cronkies to spruce up the ownership board with some more youth, right? With some European youth, and I mean youth in their 30s and 40s, right? I don't mean some 20-year-old punk that knows the European market well and knows the inner workings of the football world, right? No Elon Musk fucking.
No Elon Musk.
None of those is little minions or nothing, right? Because that would just cause more problems than it would cause solutions.
Don't want anyone hacking into the Arsenal social security.
That would be really nice. No one hijacking the Arsenal payment system. Oh my God, that would be it'd shut down everything. But I feel like we need someone to steer the ship first, and I'm glad you agreed with that with me, because it should be someone who can critically critique Arteta. Because I see where other people say it is the ownership's fault because they're the ones that kept him in the job. So they're the ones that are to blame. And I kind of get that side of the story. But again, I stick by this. AJ, shout out AJ by it. He sticks by it. I think Del Boys knows this as well. Josh Kroenke and Arteta were working behind the scenes to get Emery out. You know that. I know that. And I know AJ Byatt knows that. And other insiders like my boy Tom Nell knows that. It was basically, if Emery doesn't succeed his first season, we'll just give it to you, Arteta. And Mikel helped grease the wheels of that, right? And told him, like, who's fine? Let's get Jesus and Zinchenko. They're my yes guys. We'll establish that. And he came in.
We get them in, give them bumper contracts.
Right. And say, I can probably get these two guys on board because their contracts are done at City. Pep doesn't like them anyway. And he snaked, I've said it, bro, a million times. He snaked his way into this job through Josh Kroenke's ignorance. Think about that. He did. And I will stand by that, bro, till the day I die. Right? They didn't know what to do. When you have someone like Wenger, who is a massive personality, 22 years at the club, knows it from fucking inside and out, top to bottom, left way, sideways, diagonal, whatever, right? When that kind of person leaves, there is a void. You know this, chat knows this. There is a void in the club. And Mikel Arteta was able to use whatever his agent, right? He does have an agent like players do, and so forth. And probably Wenger, get Wenger's buy-off in some way, shape, or form to get in that job. Because he didn't get it on pedigree or CV. Because he's a fucking homeboy at City. And I get it. I get some points. Defensively, Pep would look at him defensively for some things the City did. To say he's just a clone boy, of course, is just hyperbole and name calling. But he spent a good 8 years at City, so I know that he's learned something. And we know that he can get a tune out of this side. But it's like he just picks the wrong things, right? If we go to that City game and draw 1-1, but we play kids, I have no problem with that. If we go and perform at Newcastle, I would much rather have fucking a final
because that's the one that makes sense. That's the one that makes sense. It's the one with the silverware, up for grabs.
And this guy in the chat told me that it was a shit cup, and Arteta is bound for greater things. Big up, Joanne. How you doing tonight?
Big up, John Smith. Oh, John Smith. Oh, John Smith.
Her heart is broken, bro.
John Smith, my heart is broken. John Smith, I need mending in my heart. Arsenal broke my heart yesterday, John Smith.
3 seasons ago. They were relegated 4 seasons ago. Relegated.
God.
And all they had to do
and now Arsenal have given Newcastle a chance of winning their first silverware since 55 years ago. Bro, I don't know. I'm even hearing it's even over 70 years. I'm just saying. Big up to John Smith. Big up to him. Big up to Mama Floshy too, also, wherever she is. Oregon Guinea. Look at this. Eddie Howe. I mean, why does this guy has Mikel Arteta's number? It's so easy. I mean, just throw the fact, yeah, that Mikel Arteta is a baby coach, yeah,
Baby
but
coach.
he's a baby coach. That's what I look at him as, a baby coach.
Yeah, he's new to the
But
thing.
okay, John Smith said something. I'm refusing to watch Arsenal unless they get someone like Real Madrid or Atletico.
They're
Laughing out loud.
saying,
Big ups to you, John Smith. John
I
Smith, how
just
you
wanted
doing? I miss you,
the
John
one
Smith.
Atletico. Like, are you crazy? Like, do you not want to win the thing? That team will tear us
Oh,
apart.
Gunnar. Back to Eddie Howe. Look at Eddie Howe's tactics in that matchup yesterday. It's the same kind of tactics, yeah, that he's actually used across the games he has actually
Right.
beaten Mikel Arteta. It's simple.
Press
Cut out
first.
supply to Martin Odegaard,
Right.
physicality,
Press a
probe,
bit.
push,
Yep.
bully the players,
At the
make
goal.
sure that your target man puts real big pressure on defenders, catch them on the high line, catch
Yep.
the defense napping,
Every single
and,
thing he
and,
did.
and, and simply just bully them off the park. That was the same thing that worked out in the last one in the other game down at the Emirates. I mean, and of course, in the one that we were beaten, Mikel Arteta got found out 3 times in 3 games
Yeah.
by Eddie Howe, who hasn't even won anything.
But we have 4 shots on target there in 3 seasons.
Oh shit! Oh, must you come with the numbers, Argan Gunner?
I was on the show with
Argan Gunner, must you come with the numbers and the answers, Argan Gunner?
It's like, you know, my
Argan Gunner, you don't have the answers.
because the city, like Liverpool Das was saying, the city game means nothing. We gave everything we had in that city game, and fair enough. But again, Tony, these are. I mean, I just can't think of the excuses. They're tired. They're fatigued. You don't think every squad that's in every competition, Mikel, you dunce, are fatigued? You don't think Liverpool's fatigued? They're up for the quadruple, Tony. Everyone's fatigued, Arteta. That's why you are the manager. They're unfatigued and their mind clear to say this is the biggest game of the season. Yes, it's not a Prem League title. Yes, it's not a Champions League final. But this is a fucking chance to put some silverware in that fucking trophy case that hasn't seen shit, and let alone an FA Cup in almost 9 years. We haven't won the FA Cup in 9 years. Let that sink in. And that was our saving grace. That was our saving grace of our deflection and saying, oh, we haven't won the title since 2004, but we've won, like 3 or 4. I think we won 3 FA Cups out of 4 in a row, practically. I think it was maybe 1 year we didn't. No, I think we were in 4 finals, 3 FA Cups, right? Or something like that. Anyway, no, we won 3. We beat Hull, whoever they were. Aston Villa, I think, was one. Anyway, that was our saving grace to have something to at least stand on. That's wiped out. We have nowhere to talk against United, Liverpool, Chelsea, City. Trophies are what defines you. We can say stay humble all you want, and they can show a trophy count of 10 trophies in the last 4 or 5 years and tell us to stay humble. Right? Well, we have a little FA Cup and a couple of fucking serving plates. Right?
There's no humble in this one. We are the ones that should stay humble. Because, but again, you've still not answered my question about the physicality of that game yesterday. I mean, I saw a Newcastle team that actually bullied Arsenal to the pulp. They bullied us in the midfield. They pushed around our players. I mean, that's taking us back like 5, 6, 10 years ago when we were clamoring for a bit of muscle in the middle of the park, where we were clamoring for players that also had the knack, had the fight, had the push, and we never saw those type of signings. And right here, after £750 million spent, and yet we don't have that physicality. I mean, a team like Newcastle can bully us home and away, push at our players, bully us, knock us off the park. I mean, I could count how many times, Bruno Guimaraes.
Yeah.
I mean, just shrugged off Martin Odegaard, pushed him away.
Tony, you could shrug off Martin
Hacked off Guy Havertz. Bro, what is happening here? Joel Linton just shoving off our players, I mean, William Saliba being shoved off. bro.
Literally.
Like literally,
And
it's
then
that bad. The
then we
only
had
one with the physicality in there was Gabriel Magalhaes.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I thought Scully had a decent game, but all of them were, bro. My ratings didn't even go over a 5 for any of them. Not even over a 5.
Even Timber. Did you see that Timber got roasted? I mean, but again, that's due to the manager's tactics. Yeah, playing a high line over a Newcastle where they're playing with a 12th man in St James Park, and I mean he was just bumping forward. It was nowhere to be found when those attacks were coming from Gordon, and many times Gordon got one-on-one in that right-hand side, and Timber was nowhere to be found. Was somewhere around the midfield, doing nothing, just wasting away.
I thought he was terrible. I thought he gave the ball away. I thought Timber had that energy where he couldn't control himself. Like if he saw Gordon with the ball, he would just go 1,000%, bullhorns after him instead of like attacking, having a little bit of body control, seeing if they're going to make a mistake, like playing the defensive role. But no, he was like going after him, and you can't do that after a while, right? All it takes is a turn, right? A pass, a one-on-one, and it goes around him. I just feel like Timber's a fantastic defender, right? And he's probably a decent defensive mid as well. But, there comes a point where you've got to control your own body, your own acceleration, right?
Exactly.
He gets the ball, and he's just like fucking running diagonal. Mad bull with the ball at his feet. And there's times to do that. There's times for not. But I thought that day was a lot of nervousness, right? Every time we got the ball, we looked like we're looking around, not knowing what to do, and spending so much time. Boom, bam, bosh. They were just on us, and they would took the balls. There was a time when Fabian Schär, bro, was pressing. Their center back was pressing us and winning the ball in our defensive third. Their center back. When have we pressed our center back? Never. When has Gabriel or Saliba ever been in the attacking third and pressing defenders on the opposite team? Never. I mean, that's how
they were scared. They were scared. I never even saw Kai Havertz in between Burns. Bro, I never saw him around there. It was just, it's just useless at that point. Utterly useless. Kai Havertz. Bro, it was useless down there, man. Completely garbage. It was just falling on the grass all over. It was just all a charade.
Towards the goal.
It was all a charade.
Did you see the move he did like the 77th minute where he spun around, the ball went out of bounds, and he literally spun himself around?
Oh my God. That one, he dived. He clearly dived. He dived in that one. Bro, I have never seen a matchup here that I've given up in the first 5-6 minutes. I gave up in that matchup in the first 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I've never seen a match where the energy wasn't right.
Nope.
I wouldn't necessarily say he didn't pick the right team. I thought he picked the right team.
You picked the right team.
But the tactics, the way he structured the play, maybe that, maybe that was a bigger problem. Or just maybe that the players aren't just good enough. How about that?
Imagine that.
Maybe the players aren't just good enough. Have we thought of that possibility?
I know one thing, Declan Rice is not a $105 million player.
Oh my days, man. He looked drab. He was just complaining everywhere. We're just running like a headless chicken. It's just shocking, bro.
120. And not even that he's worth that.
Very annoying.
Over 100 million. That's just
very annoying. Very annoying. Very annoying.
Like to your point earlier, what you said, what Eddie Howe did, he pressed us for a while where it was to see what we would do. Well, we coughed up the ball and gave up a goal. Right?
Oh my days!
And what did he do?
David Raya. Oh my days!
Oh God, yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ, bro! This is how bad it is. Me and Oregon Gunnar haven't even gone to the nitty gritty, and we have tales of woes already on the show. We haven't even gone to David Raya's howler. That was a howler from David Raya. What do you have to say about David Raya, man? Shocking, disgraceful, bro. That was embarrassing.
They look nervous. He looked scared. He looked nervous and kind of out of his depth, which is weird because it still has Gabriel and Saliba there. It's not like Kiwior was in there. You know, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things. And to think, too, Tony, that Bromley scored on Newcastle in the first 8 minutes. We haven't scored on them in 3 years.
Oh, my God, man.
Bromley, bro. And they've lost to Fulham. They lost to Bournemouth. I think they lost 3 in a row in the Prem. I think on 2-1 scorelines or 3-1 scorelines. We freeze up. And we don't have a leader. Odegaard, bless his little heart. You can do the tricks and the little feints, and you can move that ball around like no one else. But when the rubber hits the road, you are fucking garbage.
He was bullied out the park, bro. He was pushed. It was passed around and being pushed. It was hackled.
Yeah.
That guy was hackled. It was tackled hardly. They pushed him around. I mean, the way they bullied Martin Odegaard, and he couldn't even carry the simple tactics that Mikel Arteta wanted. That's why it was hacked off in the first place. I mean, why would you hack off your captain when you're looking for 3 goals to put at the back of the net, and your captain is not part of that push? I mean, it's just I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
They're missing that goal. I mean, it was right there in front of your face, bro. I don't get it. And back to what you were saying about Timber, why didn't he just hold on to Gordon's jersey the fucking whole time? Just hold on, pull the kid's jersey, just pull his jersey. Stick with him like stink on shit and white on rice. That's what Arteta should have done. You know, instead of wanting him to go inverted forward, right? Just stick with your man because Gordon had to come back anyway.
Yeah.
Gordon had to come back anyway to help defend. So you might as well keep them together. If he comes back and defend him not getting the ball so they don't counterattack. Why isn't he just like on him? Like we've seen Gabriel against Holland stick to him like fucking glue, Tony. Like glue in some games, right? Where Holland couldn't even get a sniff. And I'm not talking about the 5-1. I'm talking about previous matches, right? Where we've seen Gabriel on them. Why can't Timber stick to Gordon like that? If Gordon can't get free, they don't score because Isak cannot do it by himself. And Murphy is not good enough. He's good, a great follow, great goal, but he does not. Everything was produced on their left side through Gordon. So why not have Timber just grabbing his jersey every second of the match?
Oregon Guinea, Trossard. Another stinker. God. I mean, how many times? I mean, see, man, I can look across the pitch here and just talk about everyone. I mean, have your pick. It's like a buffet. It's just like a buffet, yeah, being brought to you. Have your pick. Which Arsenal player you wanna pick on the day? Free for all of them, pure garbage.
Yeah,
all of them, garbage.
He was one of the better ones, but
all of them, all garbage. Trossard had a stinker, bro. I mean, throw away Martinelli's performance. Trossard couldn't do anything. Couldn't create anything. I mean, he couldn't run in behind defenders. I mean, he couldn't even get a decent cross into the 18-yard box of Newcastle, bro. I mean, it was just shocking. It was horrible. And the way we exposed our defenders. Oh, my days. The way we exposed. And I mean, it just takes a little, to just expose your so-called world-class Rolls Royce. I mean, look at Saliba. He's been found out. I mean, he's just been totally exposed by this manager. But again, before you talk about Trossard, I just want you to have a hard look into Saliba. Where do you think this problem is stemming from? Is it Mikel Arteta's tactics that's now kind of like exposing him for much criticism, mostly with how far his defensive showings have become in recent weeks? Or do you think it has to do more with that Real Madrid knock on the door? What do you think is really the biggest problem? Is it Mikel Arteta and the way he's really running the show tactically that's kind of like exposing William Saliba? Or do you think it's more of that knock on the door from Real Madrid for William
Um,
Saliba.
I don't. I think it's a physical thing. I don't think he wants
Mm,
he wants those physical matchups. Number one, and number two, yeah, Madrid. He has one foot in Spain for sure. He doesn't look like the
really?
player. Yeah, he doesn't look like the player he was last season, or definitely not the season before, or even the first season when we brought him in. Remember from all those loan spells, right? Oh
Oh,
shit, this
wow.
guy's a revelation, and he is. He's very good, bro. Let's not say that he's not one of the top defenders in European football, right? I mean, he really is, but he's had some real stinkers lately, and I
Hmm.
think it's good that he doesn't
Horrible
want.
ones.
And it could be in the back of his mind. He doesn't want to get injured. Maybe he's playing with a slight knock.
Mm.
But again, he's too quiet for me. I like the way he plays. He's a
He's
good
not vocal enough, right? He's not
right.
vocal enough, right? Gabriel is always vocal. He's always talking around.
Yeah,
He's always, doing one or two things. He's always arranging the set pieces. He's always talking, issuing out, orders here and there, arranging players. But Saliba
right,
is just numb. His mouth is closed. No communication whatsoever in his recent horrible showings, man.
right. And I just
Just
I don't know how much he bleeds the red and white at times, right? I start to question his loyalty, especially with the
mm,
Madrid perks. But I think if Madrid had any sense at all, they'd make a play for both of them and have that for him and Gabriel and have that defensive package for the new season. If Madrid had any sense, they'd buy both. And I think
they'll buy
Arsenal,
both. Because
yeah,
I
it
generally
might be
think that they have
slow.
no loyalties to Arsenal. They can drop ship right
Yeah,
now.
I think
Just jump ship.
no, right. He would spend 5 years at a club that hasn't won anything, can't even fucking get a Carabao Cup. So why should I
Oh,
waste another 3 or 4 years here winning nothing of the prime age of my career? And these are the problems we have that go outside of some I think YouTube commentators don't think about so much, or at least any commentators, is that the 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 compounding of not winning anything, right? I mean, you look at Newcastle not winning shit for, like you said, 70 some years, right? But at least they're showing fight to win it. And some of these
but at least
players,
they're showing fire. Exactly, Oregon Gunner. I saw the fire. I saw the fire. I saw the energy they put into it. I
even
saw the
that
fight.
fire in our place wasn't as big as it was at St. James when they came to our place for the first leg. Our place wasn't on fire like St. James's Park was. We could have gotten the first goal then and it would have changed the tide completely. But it's like, do the players devalue this trophy? Does Arteta? We know Arteta has in the past, but he put out the strongest team. But let's remember, Tony, too, also, I forget. This is the only team he has because he sold off players and hasn't replaced them. And now I'm starting to raise my voice again. This is his own fucking doing.
It's his doing.
End of the
It
day,
is his doing.
doing.
It's his
Because
doing. He cost all this.
Fiera didn't have to go on loan. Not that I rate these guys. I mean, I think ESR and Reece Nelson's time was up. But now when we need them most, we don't even have access to them. Not like they're on the bench, or not like they're in the injury box, right? And they're coming back next week. Okay, I can plan for that. We don't have the players. And if Kai Havertz gets injured, my days, who the fuck is going to lead the line?
And
Martinelli
that's a bigger problem.
No, he's out for 6 weeks. I'm sure Saka's done no April. They say March. Nah.
No, it's March. I think he will come back. They'll shoot him some injections, and because Saka is that kind of player. Oh, Liverpool have just scored one goal against Tottenham Hotspur. They're gonna win. They are gonna win. They're gonna win. And again, that's the difference between a baby team and a team that have world-class stars and players that understand how to play with a manager who I don't clearly trust yet, though, but who I think has done quite well to actually galvanize this world-class players, because to whom much is given, much is expected. And let's be very frank, Slot has really, really, really engineered and geared that Liverpool team into a different team. They look impregnable. They look strong. They look.
Would you replace Arteta with Slot right now? Would you replace Arteta with Slot right now if you could?
I don't know. I don't really trust Slot because I don't know because I just think it's with a bunch of world class stars. What happens when those world class stars go away? But again,
Good point.
you just have to go by, what's on the book.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I'll
he
take
slots for
Slot.
more trophies than Arteta, right? He slots one more than Arteta.
I'll take Slot.
Even though,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, me
But-
too. Oh, I think
because this is the reason why I'm saying Slot went into Liverpool. It had about 4 to 5 world class players. Let's don't get that off the table. It has Mohamed Salah to work with. It has one of the most deadliest finishers in this league,
right.
Jota, who is Jota. It has Cody Gakpo, who's down there, another world class player. I do think that VVD, Virgil van Dijk, is a world class
Oh,
player. I do think that there's one defender they have. What's that
Konate,
defender that they have? Huh?
Konate, Konate.
Kunate, another world class player. McAllister, world class players, won the World Cup.
Yeah,
And I
that's true.
mean, he looks good in the middle of the park. How about that? I mean, that's another world class player. Schlasbola, another world class player. Bro, these guys have up to 6'5". If you want to even go incendiary on it, you can even say 7 world class players because, I mean, I do value Bradley, Conor Bradley. I mean, they even their youths are cool enough. The youths are good enough. So if you look at all these things here, he walked into a side that was already coordinated in a way. He had the tools. He just had to put the glue on them and glue them up to be what they are right now. If he comes to an Arsenal team without that same world class players that have actually helped him out at Liverpool right now, would he have the same desired result he's getting right now? That's my doubt over it.
Well, results,
That's my
right?
doubt
But he would have a better understanding of what needs to be done, and he would
of
be
what needs
efficient.
to be done.
You
That's the
know,
difference.
part of being a manager is identifying the problems and being able to fix them, right? Arteta knows there's
Mm,
problems, but he doesn't leave any tools in his toolbox to fix them. And he doesn't have any because he's a fucking rookie manager, right? Arnie
mm.
Slot can go to his, black book of coaching, the Dutch mastery, the 4-3-3, right? The Dutch system of football, and that's what worked at Feyenoord. That's what worked here. That's what worked there. Arteta has, well, I did, I helped City a bit. I mean, we're talking about two categorically different people at different points in their career. Arteta, I think, over time, once he understands man management better at another club, he should do this at another club. He will be fine in another club. And it's great
Yeah,
that he's broken records, but he's broken bad records too.
he's
I
broken bad records too.
good and
And
bad.
again, and again, I agree with here today with what he just said there. That's on the screen. It says Slot is better tactically. Listen to him speak. He actually has decorum and sense, unlike Ateta. Exactly. Ateta speaks so much shit. That guy talks so much crap, bro. I've never seen. Shout out to football overseas. He said, Tony, are you Ateta? Bro, I'm Ateta out. Bro, I'm Ateta. This guy can't stay. I mean, football overseas. How long? For how long would we continue with this horrible showing? Time and time without number, cup games thrown away. We can't even, bro. Look at what Newcastle did to us after spending 750 million pounds. I mean, we deserve change. Come on, man. Football overseas. I mean, this is not a case of Ateta in, Ateta out. If he's not doing well, I mean, come on, man. We're in phase 5 or phase 6 or phase 10 or what do they call it these days? But I mean, no, no, no. Do the marks, man. Do the marks football overseas. It's done. We're done. We're shit. Complete garbage.
There's
750 million and we don't even have a striker
no
in
use of
this
us
team.
waiting anymore.
Bro, we don't have a striker. Football
That's it.
overseas, we don't have a striker. Does this make sense? No
Yeah,
striker.
exactly.
750 million spent in this team. Come on, man. Come on, we're not doing this, man. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. Not now. Not today.
And
Not
Chris,
today.
I don't
Not
think
today.
Arteta.
Not today.
I think Arteta's not a draw. Like, I don't understand why world class players, like you're saying, would look at Arsenal and Arteta as a project that's intriguing or interesting. Other, that's bigger than Liverpool's project. I mean, Liverpool's been in Champions League finals. They've won stuff. They worship Klopp. Klopp is part of who their DNA now. We don't. Wenger's our only real DNA, and that's long gone. I don't understand the fan base that is so stuck like glue to this manager. I don't understand it. I don't get.
I don't know the loyalty these people have towards this manager.
Yeah.
The loyalty, the love, bro. I'm not a jealous person or whatnot. Yeah, and I really don't judge people by how they look or whatever. You could be anything. It's not my business. But I mean, do the business that you were sent there to do. And I'm sorry, he hasn't done it. He hasn't won trophies down here, and he has lied to this Arsenal faithful. He's lied. I mean, he's connived with the powers that be to say that we want a striker. And bro, it was all a lie. And again, that's why I'm thinking, what is happening? The friction between him and the owners, where he was openly asking for a signing, like attacking reinforcements, and the board not giving him attacking reinforcements. I'm now forced to rethink the whole thing now. Is it that they connive to do it in that way? Because I want to know which is real, what is real and what is fake. Was he asking for those signings? Was that real in any way? Because right now I'm hearing stuff that that Aston Villa sounded Arsenal, called Arsenal back and said, "Hey, we have our replacements. Come get Ole Watkins. You came to bid for." And they said, "No, we're not going more than £40 million." But you knew they told you it was about £60 million, and they said, "Okay, no problem. We'll get back to you." And suddenly it became available, and you don't want to go for him. So there's an element of PR stunt in this, an element of lies and deceit in it.
Right. I don't think that Ollie Watkins was available as soon as Jean Duran signed the Saudi contract. Aston Villa would have been absolutely idiotic to get rid of both of their strikers in a season where they're trying to get top 5. I mean, they're really pushing for, honestly, the 4th, 5th, and 6th place, right? They want Champions League football, and they would probably settle for 6th for Europa League, right? But Unai does have, at his disposal now, Donnell Mallin. They picked him up, the old Arsenal guy who was at Dortmund, and they got Marco Asensio on loan. And maybe those were to cover for Ollie Watkins.
For Ollie Watkins, that's another thing.
Right? So that makes Ollie Watkins available. Why did we do this the fucking second week in January?
That's what I'm saying. Like, we have some Arsenal fans saying that he's 29-year-old. Are these guys okay?
They're not okay.
For Kai Havertz, I mean, come on, man. It doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So they've lied to us. They clearly didn't want to bring in any striker. Clearly they want to do business in the summer.
Right.
Clearly they didn't want to bring anyone. All this news about Vlahovic, Sesko, bro, all of them were lies.
Do you think
they're not true?
I want to ask you a question. Do you think Arteta knows who Vlahovic is?
I don't think so. I think he's lying about that one. He doesn't know Vlahovic. He hasn't ever called Vlahovic. It's a lie. Bro, it is a lie. He doesn't even know where Vlahovic plays for. And I'm even thinking that news of Sesko is also a lie. That one too might also be a big lie. That's also a very big, huge lie. It's not true.
Yeah, if you had a conversation, Arteta said he had a conversation with him on the phone. Then why the fuck isn't he here? Because you can't sell the project because it's not good enough. You're not good enough. We don't have, again, a sporting director who can get these things lined up. Vlahovic has been stinking up at Juventus. Exactly. I want fucking
exactly. Exactly. He's been rotten. He's been rotting the place up.
You watch this kid's gonna be phenomenal. But I just don't. We can't be reading these headlines. Fucking Arteta does not know who Vlahovic is, and if he does, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, that striker that plays."
I reckon, Johnny, I'm gonna make your dreams come true right now. BBC Sports, BBC Sports carried the news this morning,
Oh boy.
and they said that Arsenal Football Club have earmarked £100 million for the signing of Lautaro Martinez from Inter Milan.
Get the fuck
What do
out of
you
here.
think? That was exact, bro. This is see, yeah. People ask me, yeah, why I have a penchant for having Oregon Gunnar on the show. That why I'm really pushing this show and everything. This is the reason why. Because I mean, I've never seen someone that me and him always clearly we reason together in some certain kind of things apart from band. Anyway, that's Abs Waffle TV.
Yeah.
See,
Okay. Hey,
this is exactly how I felt.
Sign him up now.
Lies.
Lautaro Martinez for 100 mil right
Arsenal
now. But I know it doesn't make sense here to there. None of it makes sense. No player's worth $100 million. I don't give a shit if they can do rainbow flicks and bicycle kicks. 100 million for
flicks.
one player. Bro, 100 million for one player is a ridiculous amount of money. And even for a striker, let's be real. Strikers burn out. Strikers are a dime a dozen. It's finding the right CDM and the right central attacking mid and the right winger that you can build the triangle combination with the top with the hitman up top to put it in the net. It's all about the creativity in midfield and the strength in midfield. That's why. Yes, 100 million Lautaro Martinez. Yes, 100 million for fucking Mbappe. Yes, I don't care, but I'll be damned if I'm going to just let them skate by on getting someone in, and we develop players over winning the league. When you could spend 100 million for Lautaro to at least get you that much closer to the league, and Kvaratskhelia to Napoli, 60 mil. Like, what are we doing here?
60 million. Why did we do that? I mean, oh God, man, the lies. But again, I also do think that this legacy media, yeah. I mean, we have a problem with the media also. I think they're getting bribes from clubs these days, man. Because how can we just lose a game against Newcastle, and then the next morning we're being linked with, £100 million, link with Lautaro Martinez. I mean, man, come on, man. What's all this? These are lies. It's not true.
Here's the thing, Tony. If we had someone that was a seasoned manager, let's say Ancelotti, Wenger, someone like that in there, yes, I can actually picture that type of manager getting that type of player in, because that manager would get a tune out of that player. But if we spend 100 million on Martinez just to finish fucking fourth, I mean, that's the manager's not good enough for that type of talent. And believe me, Lautaro Martinez is a fucking gem, right? Has he been inconsistent? He hasn't really been consistent this season. I think he's been one of the better players. Like Overseas says, he would be giving up his chance to win more trophies. And some of these players, they do value the Scudetto more than they do a Premier League trophy. England is not the end-all and be-all of football. And I shout out to Lee Gunner. He's talking about this because he's a big La Liga guy, right? Our guy Lee, watching tons of La Liga. It's not the end and be-all of football. Yes, it's fun to watch. Yes, we got some of the top talent. But you go look at teams like Inter Barcelona, right, who I see in the chat. That's a football heritage. Inter had R9 for fuck's sake. Let's be realistic now. Javier Zanetti, 600-plus games. I mean, Inter is an established club in world football. Yeah, they're not the Liverpools and the Bayern Munichs that we hear winning everything, but they were right to the final of the Champions League. You know, and to think that Arteta has that type of pull. Lautaro Martinez, I mean, he probably knows Arteta.
But again, why would Lautaro Martinez even think of even coming to be with this yes man? I mean, why would he leave all this glory, at Inter Milan and come and stay with this baby coach, with this twat in this football club? I mean,
but you bring a professor
if Mikel Arteta knows what's good for him, let him just leave at the end of the season. That would be the best thing. I mean, he's bereft of ideas. I mean, just look at him. Look at his attitude in that game against Newcastle. I mean, it just looked lost. It looks lost. it completely looks lost. It doesn't know what to do. He looked at his bench. He couldn't see inspiration. And then I started seeing him. And his desperation was going through levels for the game. You could sense his desperation looking for a goal. He now had to hack off his captain. Man, you hacked off your captain of your football club, and then you brought in Merino. As if your desperation wasn't even that pronounced. You even had to bring in a Jorginho into the park. I look at Manchester United right now, shitty club right now. But they have one guy called Chigbo, one guy like that that left Arsenal down there. That guy is tearing up their under 21s right now. I heard he's the one scoring lots of. I heard that guy is I heard that guy is 100% better than Kai Havertz. Why did you give that guy even a sniff? Yeah, when we have our youth academy players even playing even more than the big time players that we have in this team. They're having they're playing well more than they're even more coordinated than the first team players. Why aren't we using them? Yeah. And then you sold that Chibo and he's scoring goals for Manchester United. See, I heard they want to fast track him into the first team of Manchester United. Guess what? That guy will score lots of goals, man.
Yeah,
I heard he's currently scoring goals, as in is the eater of goals, as in he's a god of goals. Oh my days! Jesus Christ! I heard he's scoring lots of goals, bro. We're in trouble.
Goals in one game in some under 18 game or something. He's unreal. And you're right. And these are the decisions that are going to prolong our agony, right? These are the decisions that are going to keep us from getting a trophy for another 10, 15, 20 fucking years. Because this kid is a fucking diamond, and we just had to get rid of him, right? For whatever reason. For money, we don't need the fucking money. We don't need the money that we sold that kid for. He wanted bigger, better things. Not that United's bigger and better now, but they sold him a project. They sold him a project. And a guarantee of whatever it was that we could not provide or see ourselves around to providing. Again, a sporting director has to come in and make some hard fucking decisions. Mikel Arteta cannot survive with this much power. With the fan base after time won't let him. And do their due diligence, Tony, in finding a replacement sooner than later.
I've heard that Arsenal have done a deal for Nico Williams. I don't know. I'm seeing it in reports. I heard that Arsenal have done a deal to bring in Zubimendi. I heard that Arsenal have an agreement in place for Sesko in the summer. Are these lies? Are these lies? Are these lies from the pit of hell, or are there some truths in this thing? These three signings. What do you think, Oregon Gunner? Because I'm beginning to smell bullshit all around it. I think they're lies. I'm beginning to think they're lies because this manager can lie through his teeth. He's a liar. He's a liar. A liar. He's a liar.
No, hold accountable. Who's the first name? Nico Williams was the first name you said? Nico Williams.
I heard that Nico Williams that we've triggered his clause and we have an agreement in place. I heard that in the summer, Sesko is coming. I've heard that Zubimendi's deal is almost like done. So
there's no deal done. No, I don't believe any words of that in any way, shape, or form. Here's what I believe. Okay. I believe that Nico Williams stated that he wants Barcelona, and I've stated that Barcelona has interest. Arsenal ain't fucking beating Barcelona and anybody. Number one. Nico Williams wants Barcelona. And Nico Williams seems like a pretty good player. Barcelona, I know, have a little interest. They could probably use some assistance on the left side. Maybe not. But the fact of the matter is, between Barcelona and Arsenal, there is a shit ton of clubs that are looking for him. And let's not rule out Serie A, Bundesliga, other La Liga teams, etc. Right? I think Arsenal's probably down the list of teams that he would join. Of course, this is all my thought. That I could be totally wrong, right? Zubimendi, I think there has been probably more contact made, and there might be a pre-contract arrangement for the summertime, which is fantastic because Thomas Partey and Jorginho is going to go back to Brazil anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we can slide in for Jorginho. Maybe we give Partey another year extension. I'm not so sure about that. So
I heard that 2 years is on the table for Thomas Partey.
Okay. Who's the
With
third
that,
player?
with clear incentives to add one more year to that 2 year contract.
So
I don't know. That's what I heard.
Who's the third player you mentioned? You mentioned Nico Williams.
Nico Williams, Sesko. I heard that there's something for Sesko in the summer for him to come in.
Actually, Sesko, unfortunately, he's not the forward I want. Is probably the closest one I would think in. I do believe that Arteta probably had a conversation with him in his camp, right? Because that came out in like the 1st of January. So I do believe there was contact there. And here and there says, why would Nico join? I think Nico Williams walks in as left winger. I think Nico Williams replaces.
Because we have shit anyway. I mean, we have shit anyway. So Martinelli is pure garbage. Trossard is pure garbage.
And Trossard has been better than last season, but it hasn't been that good.
Oregon Guinness, we have a big problem in the summer because now we had such a horrible window. We didn't bring anyone in Jet Transfer window. Look at the implications. Look at the implications. Tenny is leaving at the end of the season. Jorginho is leaving at the end of the season. He has signed a deal for Regatas Flamengo. Zinchenko is leaving, probably maybe to Inter Milan or to Borussia Dortmund. It has so many teams that love it. Now that's 3. We now have Trossard, who hasn't signed a deal. He's clearly not in love with Arsenal. He's clearly not in love with Mikel Arteta again. That's number 4. We have Saliba, who is a bigger threat to leave this football club at the end of the season. Yeah, with Real Madrid coming to knock on the door in the summer, I think it jumps ship easy. Yeah. Mostly with us not winning a title, it jumps easy. That's number 5. We do have Kivia, who will be leaving at the end of the season for game time. We do have Neto, who will be leaving at the end of the season. That's number 6. We do have one more person. One more person who is leaving.
There's one more. Vieira?
Huh?
Vieira or Lukonga? Remember those?
Lukonga should leave definitely. Yes. So now those guys are leaving. Now that's it. We still need a replacement for Bukayo Saka. Probably maybe Nwaneri will help out, but right now we saw what happened. That Nwaneri doesn't always answer the questions or isn't really the solution down that right-hand side all the time, right? Good. So we need a replacement for that. That's number 7. We do need someone to come in that left-hand side. That's number 8.
You need a new
8
squad.
Players.
5 first.
We need a new squad.
4.
We need a new squad. And a new striker, by the way. That will make it about 9 players.
Yeah.
Arsenal needs a new squad.
Who's the
Arsenal needs a new squad
by
the summer.
Who's the backup to the new striker? You still have Kai Havertz on the bench, so you still drop the quality gap. We need 2 strikers. This is what I've been saying for the last few weeks.
Sterling will be leaving at the end of the season too. That's number 10.
We need 2 strikers.
Bro, Arsenal needs 11 players.
Yes. We need
bench. Summer. Forget the bench. We need a new squad. So now we've invested £750 million of our money for 5 seasons and still needing a new complete squad by the end of the summer.
Because they bought bad.
No, guys, listen to this theory. It just came to my head. Let me say it again for those of you who are coming again. Oregon, please tell me if I'm lying. Zini is going, number 1. Zini is leaving at the end of the season. Kivio is leaving at the end of the season. He wants to go for game time. Sterling is leaving at the end of the season. Trossard hasn't signed a new deal. He's leaving at the end of the season. Thomas Partey might still walk at the end of the season. That's number 5. Saliba will be leaving at the end of the season if Real Madrid comes knocking on that door again. That's number 6. We need a new striker. That's number 7. We need a left winger. That's number, that's probably number 8. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Neto, how about that? Neto. He should be leaving. He is out of contract at the end of the season. So that, bro, that's about 10-9 play. Bro, it's is there any difference with that and having a complete new squad?
Yeah,
Arsenal needs a new squad at the end of the season.
but we only get that with a new manager who's going to bring in the players that he wants to bring in, right? Arteta is just going to build on all this crap that he's purchased, and we need two strikers, right? Because Kai Havertz ain't it. You have to sell Kai Havertz.
That's why I added a striker there because a striker needs to come in. A left winger needs to come in. I didn't even add the replacement for Bukayo Saka because we have Waneri down there, innit? Tomiyasu will be leaving too. Bro, that even makes it 11. Tomiyasu is leaving because he won't have game time, so he should be leaving.
He's always
We
injured.
wanted to flog him out in the transfer window, but he was injured. So he can't leave injured. That's the thing. No team will buy him when he's injured. So technically, Arsenal needs about 11 players in the summer. And the problem with that is that it's not possible to buy 11 players in the summer. So that was why the January transfer window had to bring in about 3 to 4 players and complete it by the summer. But in this case, we have brought in no one in the January transfer window, which leaves us to bring in about 9 to 8 players at least to help out with what we have in this team.
You and I know that's not going to happen. You know, we're going to bring in a maximum of 2 players. I think we do concede in the striker chase and find a striker, and I think out of all the
big ups to Malia. Malia, we love you. Big ups. Nice to see you here, Malia. Malia, I've missed you. I've not seen you anywhere for a long time. Big up to you, Malia.
Yeah, big up, Malia. I think Zubimendi is probably a go. I think Zubimendi has to be the replacement for Jorginho. If we sign Partey up for another season, fine. 2 seasons, that's probably a bit much. 1 more season, okay. But still Zubimendi starts. But then you still have Rice guard in the midfield. I think Rice hopefully will have a better year. You know, he kind of fell off the Euros, didn't do him much help. But he's gotten better over time, and I think, you know, maybe a new season will spark new life into him. But I think the Odegaard is still he's a journeyman.
We need a replacement for Odegaard. Oh my God! Oh, Oregon Gunner, you always do this, man. We need it. Oregon Gunner just reminded me. We need a replacement for Odegaard.
Or a sub for him. I mean, I just don't think he goes this summer. I think
Arsenal needs 12 players. Oh my days. We need 12 players.
Yeah, bro, on bench, God, we need like 6 players alone on the bench.
Bro, we need 12 players in the summer.
And if we let
my days, man. This doesn't look good.
I believe our only left backs are Calafiori and Lewis Skelly, but Lewis Skelly's better than Calafiori. But again, and then we have to take a look at the medical team too. Let's be honest, right? I mean, our players, we've had a lot of significant injuries. Obviously, Saka, we missed Odegaard for about 4 to 6 weeks. Saka's done. Like we said, Jesus is done, and it looks like Martinelli may be, 4 weeks out or so. The whole season
is injured.
He's injured. The whole season has literally gone to shit, and now Barcelona are scoring goals for fun against Valencia.
They're scoring goals for fun. Asa says Fraudetta needs another £800 million. Football Overseas says, if you Oregon, gonna please answer this question because we have to go very soon. He says, if you get a new manager, Tony, would your board back the new manager?
Absolutely. Because the new manager will be slotted in by the owners, by Josh Kroenke and Stan. Remember, I don't know, Overseas, if you know much about Josh and his son, I mean, his dad, Stan, of course, but Josh sort of runs the Arsenal aspect of it while his dad kind of oversees things. But, Josh Kroenke, they will back. And that's the thing. I think Arteta's been backed financially, you guys.
He's been backed, man. Bro, almost £1 billion.
Years, it's almost 150, 200 million.
That's a war chest.
That's 200 million a season. I mean,
bro, that's a war chest, man. 800 million. That's a war chest.
200 million. I mean, you could literally get. And here's one of the players I want who flies on the radar. I want fucking Justin Kluivert in from Bournemouth. I think he is a phenomenal player.
I want Semenyo. Bro, me and you can identify players easy. Bro, how about Semenyo? We can be.
Anyone can identify players, but But Justin Kluivert comes from footballing heritage and blood. Let's be real.
Yeah, true. But
Roma.
I like Semenya. But there's so many players we can bring into this World Cup, but they're dumb to see it.
Right. No,
I mean,
but no, hold on. Kluivert is the perfect replacement, or the second best up to Odegaard if we were to get him on the bench, right? Or he'd be over Odegaard, bring Odegaard on the bench, whatever, right? Justin Kluivert has physical attributes. He doesn't need the tricky shit because he's so direct. He's got speed. He has good vision. He doesn't have like I said, the tricks that Odegaard has with the ball behind him and all this fancy shit, but he can still put in a flat ball over the top, right? Let's not be like Odegaard can really do this or that. Yes, Odegaard can annihilate a back line with a nice lob ball into the box, but so can other many central attacking mids, right? I mean, and I just if we really want to freshen things up, we need to make Gabriel the captain. We need to figure out our left.
We need a new manager. We need a new manager. We need a new director of football. Bro, lots of things are plaguing this team. We need a new goalkeeper first, too. We need a backup goalkeeper. I mean, how about that? Because I don't want to see Neto do that stuff he did against Girona in the first place. I mean, bro, we have to even start thinking about the possibility of losing some players, some of our best players, to the bigger clubs, when they come knocking. But start thinking of the possibility of re-signing Gabriel Magalhaes. I heard that a contract was given to Gabriel Magalhaes and he hasn't signed it yet.
You've heard that.
So,
that's news to me.
Yeah. So, I mean.
Really, I think, to be honest, I thought this season would make or break Arteta, but it's really looking like next season, right? And I always say that because I think this summer, because there weren't many moves in January. Aston Villa, I think, signed players. We know City signed players. I don't think Liverpool signed anyone. I think United signed the Drogba guy. I think they signed him.
Dogu. It's called Patrick Dogu. He's a third-rate defender from Leeds. He's nothing special.
Right. So
for me, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I've never heard of him. But, I think if we were to look at players like Justin Kluivert, right, just for an example, is already the Prem experience is there. He's already got the experience of beating some of the top 6 clubs. He comes from football blood. He's more physical than Odegaard. He can shoot outside the box. My God.
He can shoot outside the box. Yeah, exactly.
Incredible.
Although it doesn't have the trickery that Odegaard possesses anyway. But again, who needs trickery?
Right. Where's that trickery fucking got us, bro?
Who needs trickery? Where's the fainting and the ball flicks and the snotting? What has that helped us today?
Right. The trickery is led to nothing. There's no end to trickery. You have to put you can curve out trickery. You can spin a flat ball, right? But he can't defend. He can.
I just pushed the button and Oregon Guinness just went. He's got pop.
He can't even throw a penalty. And then we have Raheem the Dream Sterling coming on.
Oh, that's the one that. Oh my God!
Awful.
Did you see how drab Raheem the Dream Sterling looked when we brought him on in that? He didn't even touch the ball.
Barely.
Bro, man, he barely touched the ball. Another horrible performance.
And when he does get it, he dribbles around and just passes it sideways. And it's so bad.
Oh, wow.
The more your memory starts thinking, right? And then you're like,
I'm telling you, the more you start getting a brain aneurysm, it's ugly. The images of everything that happened yesterday, they just keep flashing back like a traumatic experience, just like being to war and coming back, and those traumatic experiences and PTSD just coming back to your head with the kind of beatings and goals, horrible, laughable, clownish goals that Newcastle scored against us, the bullying of Saliba. The foolishness yeah, the Foley, yeah, of David Raya. I mean, what were you thinking? Dropping that ball for a player that has up to 3, 4 players around. I
They were
mean,
they were tired, Tony. They were shit scared yesterday. I do believe the fatigue, but I'm not going to blame it as an excuse. I cannot use fatigue on. Let's see, we played Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. There's 2 full days to really kind of rest. These guys are making a shit ton of money. They should have been up for yesterday. I don't. I
bro,
mean, I
they're
think
in Dubai.
maybe later.
Abibi, they are in Dubai. As
Yeah,
we speak, they should be in Dubai with luxurious in a luxurious hotel.
they should
Yeah,
cancel the Dubai
eating
trip and go.
luxurious food, rich, ostentatious food. Yeah, yeah,
To get
chilling
them
in
a
the
cheap
sun,
flight. Right, that's right. And so
chilling
let's
in the
see.
sun.
We know what happened last
Yeah.
time, Tony. I think
While
in
me, I'm
Dubai.
down here worrying about a team in a dark cloud down here. Yeah, while these
Yeah,
guys are somewhere in Dubai enjoying, ripping the benefits of playing for
right.
Arsenal Football Club, enjoying their spoils of war, while we Arsenal fans are down here crying
Yeah.
and left with heartbreak
All
and
them laughing
trauma
and
and scars, while these guys have
Ron Paul and the
I mean a
Ravens.
first class ticket down to Dubai to
Yeah,
just dance, eat, drink, enrich
yeah.
themselves, and just enjoy the just enjoy the
Trophies,
scenery. A proper place,
yay.
party.
Trophies,
I
yay.
mean,
Hey, we gave it all we
I
got
could,
yesterday. We gave it all we
Oregon
got.
Cinema.
Tony. We were tired. We were
This is
tired
pain.
yesterday. We gave it all we got.
This is
But I was heading
pain.
out to play Dubai to go party while you sit suffer on YouTube. I mean, what are we doing? If I'm Arteta, I'm
What are we
canceling the
doing?
trip, putting them back in the
This is
fucking training pit,
this is
and
ridiculous.
right, and doing other
It's
things besides
ridiculous.
Gabrielle getting headers because we had about 5 quarters yesterday. What happened with Gabrielle? Nowhere to be seen.
Oh my days! There was even a corner kick that Declan Rice played, and oh my god,
Oh yeah,
oh my
yeah.
days!
The whole shit was
Oregon
bad. But I
Guinea,
know you got to
did
get
you
moving
see
though.
that?
I did
Oregon
see
Guinea,
that.
I looked for positives because I'm usually a kind of guy here. I'm not this negative person. People know. I mean, the guys here, they knew how I started here. I'm not this negative person or whatever. I'm always the kind of person that calls stuff when stuff don't look good, and praise the team when things look okay. But
Right,
I mean, man, oh
nothing
my
but the
days! I looked for positives in that game yesterday. I saw
yeah.
nothing. Yeah, Oregon Gunnar has answered that question. Ancelotti at the end of the season. Inzaghi, Simeon Inzaghi at the end of the season. Throw that away. How about this guy that's in Bayer Leverkusen? What's his name? Alonso. Bro, I would throw the shame away and bring a legendary, yeah, Liverpool manager. Yeah, I'll bring a legendary Liverpool player and bring him here to be my manager. I don't care. Xabi Alonso.
I would take.
I don't care.
Yeah, I would even
Bring him
take a
in.
Great Genie or
Bring him
somebody
in.
fucking
Bring
Saudi.
him in. Xabi
Yeah,
Alonso. Yeah, bring him in. What are we chatting about? When we have this useless, oh my days, man. Oregon gonna let, I mean, what lovely show, man. It's just nice that we pour our hearts.
oh for
It's
sure.
just like me and you just sharing a beer, in the
In the play,
desert and just drinking
absolutely.
away our sorrows, man. Hopefully when I come down there to Oregon, you know,
It'll be in the forest,
we'll have a
bro.
couple of
Nothing,
beers together and
nothing
just
like the breweries.
chill and relax.
That's right. You know what's up. You know what's up. No, great show today, Tony. Thanks for having me on again. Hour and a half, bro. It goes
Yeah,
by
man.
fast. Good times. And
Yeah,
thanks
man.
everybody.
Thanks.
Good seeing everyone. Yeah, this is just we're where we expected, right, with this manager. Listen, we knew that this was going to be a rough ride when he took the job, and it's been a little harder on us than before. But yesterday, they don't deserve a trip to Dubai. That's kind of my final
They don't.
opinion. I
They
don't think
don't.
they deserved.
They don't.
You
If
know,
there's anything, we deserve refunds for wasting our time
right,
watching
way the hell
online,
up
and
there.
and for the fans that went to the stadium, they deserve a refund.
Farthest
They
commute.
ought not to watch such horrific football ever. Being played in our
Yeah,
faces. I mean, for every Arsenal fan that had to go through that grueling experience watching this bizarre game yesterday. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I mean, for the real ones that understand, not the ones that still think that this manager should still be here, because there's still some coconut heads that believe that this manager should be here, that he has won trophies, he's won the community shield.
Yeah,
Oh,
they look at his
good man.
record, this and that, and you look at that as like that's something. But yeah, anyway,
Oh,
Tony, I
you
gotta
know
go.
what do you got coming up, man? Tell these people, man.
Um,
Let's go.
tomorrow I'm on with 2 p.m. my time, 10 p.m. UK with TJ and Saad,
Mm.
and we're gonna go over, of course, the match as well and what's coming up. And other than that, Sunday I'm off to Florida, to the Florida Keys.
Miami. It's
So
going to Miami.
back to
Welcome
late
to Miami.
right.
Miami.
Yeah,
Miami.
see how that goes. It's beautiful weather there, mid-70s, so that'll be nice. But yeah, that's what I got
Yeah,
coming up.
man.
It's a perfect time, a break from Arsenal. We're not playing this weekend. So yeah. But thanks again for having me on. Great to see everybody in the
Yeah,
chat.
sure, man. Sure, man. Thanks for everyone who came down to the show today. Malia, Aces, here today, Football Overseas, of course, Oregon Gunner in the charts. All of you that came today, thank you very much. And of course, I'll be back probably tomorrow. Anthony Herbert was also here. All of you, AFC always was also here. Big up to all of you. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll send some information on the shows I'll be doing probably tomorrow. But from me and Oregon Gunner, we are out. Peace, people. Peace.